Can you not? Why are we tweaking out? Okay, you guys are gonna have to listen to the beeping. We're getting a pretty cool car today. I will drop in, well, you're gonna see it here in a second. But we're getting a pretty cool Charger today with, it's gonna go up against the Prius once the Prius is done. But we're got a 12 valve Charger we're picking up today. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool, pretty excited. It has a blown diff in it right now, so we can't really do much with it. We're gonna put a new diff in it, a factory one, and kind of see what it does, but we're gonna upgrade this thing and make it super reliable, because as of right now it's not, and it has factory suspension. Supposedly it sits about that far off the ground. So I don't know much about this thing. It seems like kind of the hard work was done, so I think we can do all the harder stuff and make it actually nice. Also, fun fact with this, I got Frank from this same guy. Now, he doesn't want to be on camera, so we're not really going to film a whole lot there, but I didn't really do much filming with Frank in the videos, but I'll put some stuff in, and he now sits at Dave's lot, so it'll be pretty cool when that thing's done. Long time no see.
I guess I should call you first.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't call me. You should have called me before you listed it.
I didn't do anything to this one.
Okay.
This one, all right, I'll tell you the whole straight up story.
Okay.
I bought this thing May
Okay.
from Florida.
Oh, wow.
And obviously it came up. It took a long time
Yeah.
trying to get a shipper. A lot of fiasco with, I had shippers booked, and they kept falling through. Be another month. So it ended up being like 2.5 months maybe.
To get it.
So it came, and then it's hot as balls.
Yeah, yep.
And so the car got parked in the backyard, and I'm like, I'll just wait till it cools. And it moved around in my yard and burned up my grass in a few different spots.
Yeah.
And now cool weather's here, and priorities have changed.
You don't want to do anything with it now.
Well, I have a whole different plan for the upcoming year, because you can look underneath and see how low it is.
Heck yeah.
And plus the springs are completely squatted.
Holy
from
cow.
I don't know what these things are weighing in at. The engine
1,000 pounds.
1,200 pounds.
The engine itself's 1,000.
Yeah.
What do you think of this thing?
This thing's funny as shit.
It does big smoky burnouts, no problem.
What the hell? You ever doing burnouts in here?
Apparently it needs a diff, but she does burnouts, no problem. I was gonna take it on the road, but it sits 1.5 inches off the ground. We gotta fix that first. Travis? Okay. Before you look at the car, do you want to see my nuts? My big nuts. Look at these knockers.
Some of the biggest nuts I've ever seen.
They're pretty big. What do you think?
Wow, that thing's pretty neat.
It's pretty funny.
Hood works good.
Yeah, the hood works really good. She's a work in progress. We'll paint that up, make it nice.
Wow,
Those big smoky burnouts.
I can't believe she fit in there.
Yeah, there's not much room. That is for sure. But yeah, it fits. It was a cop car. All we gotta do is put lights back on and pull people over for days.
I think there's more room in the Prius than there is in this.
Honestly, it does appear that way, but the Prius does have a lot of stuff. The whole dash is cut out of that. This thing, the whole inside, other than the shifter, you can't even tell. And the burnout smoke inside.
Minty.
Other than the shifter, you can't even tell. Travis just also pointed out why it's also hard to steer, other than the fact it doesn't have power steering. That tire is what?
Like almost straight.
Just barely to the left. It's a little off. Okay. Logan, we got Logan on the phone.
It's Logan's birthday.
It's Logan's birthday and I just found a seashell.
Dude, I love seashells.
We're gonna send this thing to Massachusetts if I can get it out.
You want my address?
Kinda. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Daddy.
Oh,
Go drop the seashell.
dude, I just broke the seashell.
You didn't get the seashell yet?
I get it, I
What?
broke it. My
What kind of
light's,
seashell is
my
it?
light's too bright. One of the sea ones.
A birthday
Oh,
one.
so it's not a land seashell?
It has dirt in it. It's a beautiful seashell. I'll put that right there for you, Logan.
You have to ask him his permission.
For a nice old ground wire. What do you think?
It would be better if it was running and spinning the tires.
Well, right now I can't because it's on the lift.
You can always put the lift down.
You want to do this to your truck? Right through the hood?
You gonna take a wire wheel to these or no?
I'm just gonna leave them like that. It's rustic. 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 So, for right now, my plan was to bring this thing back, maybe put a diff in it, make some video of it driving around and show it off a little bit. But it occurred to me, there is a lot of problems with this thing, and I am mind blown it even works. So, what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you everything what's wrong with this thing. That diff supposedly is bad. As you just saw, we did burnouts with it, no problem. And we probably didn't get half of them on camera. We have another diff for it here, which I'm thinking maybe we'll put that diff in and see what happens. I'm not sure yet, but to start, front suspension is gonna get upgraded because we're sitting 1.5 inches off the ground, which isn't good. Literally can't even drive out of the garage. So I'm hoping to gain 3 inches with the shocks, and I'm gonna work my magic and hope to gain some ground clearance. But I wanna show you everything wrong with this. So let's start off with that now. So we come in, she's twin turboed. As you can see, these are, I believe, I don't know if they're stock turbos or what, but it's rough. This thing just barely worked. You tell they had a hard time getting that off at one point. So we look at like the wastegate. They welded the wastegate, which a lot of people do. Some people do that. So that kind of is what it is. This V-band was extremely loose and we had a good exhaust leak out of there. I tightened it down to what it should be and it still leaks. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. These oil cooler lines, I have never seen somebody weld oil cooler lines together because they didn't have ones long enough. Usually you just get a proper line. Eventually these lines are gonna chafe through themselves as well. But it's very interesting. I don't know how this thing works. He took a, I don't even know, it has a Ford tag on it, some sort of Ford pipe coming out for the, going into the radiator and coming into here. This bend is pretty harsh and it sits really high. I mean, you could get a nice piece of tubing and bring that up and tuck that in there. He ran, which would be for your heater core, because this thing does have heat and it does have everything for AC, just doesn't have the lines going from the car to the compressor. It has the condenser, compressor, everything's hooked up. It's got a new compressor, new condenser, and the heat's hooked up, so I'm assuming that works. All the blowers work inside. Amazingly, everything inside works. It looks too perfect to not be for the car. But another thing is running these lines out, everything is ran across the engine. It would look way better to reroute all that. These charge pipes, like the intake horn, I think we can tuck that down and maybe bring that into here and hide that. Maybe we'll leave it because it kind of looks cool. Then you come over and the wire coming off the alternator. Like, what is that? He stripped this and then stripped the car side and just heat shrinked them together. It takes, I mean, you could get a cheap crimp gun for 50 bucks and put a real crimp on that, a little hand pump one. Then you look down at his pipes, and I don't know what's going on there. Oh, you can't even really see that. But then if you look down real far there, and you look at the bottom turbo, it's really hard to see this. He didn't have the right elbow, so he welded the elbow to the turbo and then screwed the oil cooler line onto it. This thing's rough. It's really rough. We got a wiring nightmare. All that's just right in the open. It leaks trans fluid. I guess we don't need that mounted. We have all this fun stuff just hiding down here. When we get under the car, it gets worse. It really is rough. And that's pretty much it for up top, for the major parts. Now, I guess he didn't need power steering because this is electronic and he wanted to get rid of it, so he cut it off the back and JB welded the back of the power steering pump and the brake pump. I don't know what the proper term for that would be, but that's how he did it. Then he took like a little chainsaw pull start string, and that's your kill switch. It ain't hard to put an electronic one on here. Same thing with that line coming out of the pump. He didn't have the right fitting, so he just welded it onto the pump, so that's good. These fuel lines aren't even on all the way, so we'll have to redo all those. In the back, in the trunk's the fuel tank. That's not even, that's another problem. Spent the time to cut the hood out. The hood still chafes pretty good. Not trying to diss on this guy. I mean, the guy was smart. He made it work, but the little times of making it right, he did not put all the time into it to do it the right way. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it nice. So let's get it up on the lift and I'll show you the fun stuff. Like I said, we're gonna go over everything. This door's got a nice dent in it, so I think I'm gonna replace that door. He must have sideswiped something because I guess it's a fake rocker. The little plastic cover's missing as well. So we're gonna go ahead and probably fix that. Make that look nicer. Then we come under the car, and that's where the fun stuff starts. So he must have got stuck with this a lot and welded that D-ring on there, which I like because it keeps there's actually a flat spot in it from rubbing the road. I like that because it keeps everything else from hitting, and it's the lowest point in the car. Like that cross member, the trans or the engine oil pan still sits under that. So I like that being there. But what I'm gonna do is, like I said up top for this coolant pipe, we're gonna redo that and drop these fittings up here, reroute them, and I'm hopefully gonna bring this up above here. We'll bend that back straight. I don't think I want AC in the car, so I'm probably gonna take the AC condenser out. That'll give us space, and I like his spacer. That might be factory though. So I'm gonna fix all that, and I believe this is a trans cooler. Probably gonna put a remote trans cooler in the back, so we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna gain some space up here. We'll bend this back straight. Maybe we'll make a nicer cross member for it. I don't really know yet. But this pipe will be up higher. Cross member will be up higher. My plan for this oil pan, I keep saying trans pan, we'll get to that later. The oil pan, I'm hoping to gain like 3 inches. I want to cut like 3 inches of that off. Then we can redesign this cross member, maybe hack it here on both sides, bring it up 3 inches or so. I want it to sit about a 1/4 inch lower than the pan does, and I want to make it bolt on so we can actually remove it if you ever have to work on it. Like if you ever had to take this pan out, you have to cut it off to do it. So it's a big pain in the butt. Now he had to drop the steering rack, which I like how he did that. I like how he does some stuff. It really is impressive. Supposedly, I actually had reached out to this guy. Supposedly he built this thing in a couple days. I don't know if that's true or not. He made it sound like he built it in 2 weekends. Now when you get into the steering, that's a whole nother thing too. There's like 4 universals and different mounts on the engine to hold that steering rack. Or not the steering rack, but all the shafts. It really did impress me. We had a nice air dog pump, which leaks, so I'm assuming there's dirt in the filters because it's leaking out right with the seals. So we'll change filters on that. We're gonna redo all these lines, and I'm hoping to put a trans cooler right here. We'll redo all this wiring for the batteries. That's real rough as well. Why you would put that real low, I don't know. It doesn't take 30 seconds to put it up high and route it the right way. Cross members are nice. Carrier bearings nice. Welded the drive shafts together, which it works. So it is what it is. Trans leaks a lot of fluid. We gotta figure that out. That is from sitting, not even running. Which I guess that's not terrible, but it's not good. It really is impressive how this thing works. There's our ground. Ground used to be there. I guess it didn't work, so then he moved it to the trans. We'll probably redo that. Get a cover back on there. And just all around make this nicer. I like how he cut that, bent it up. Honestly, if I was to do this build from scratch, it would take me forever to do it the right way. And if he did this in the 2 weekends like he said, it really is impressive. We're gonna put a new rack and pinion on here because that boot's wrecked and it leaks, and I'm gonna attempt to get it to work again. They're electronic, so maybe, I don't know. Then we come into the back. Diff leaks a lot of fluid. She leaks a lot. So my plan with that is I'm thinking maybe we blow this diff and put the new one in it and then blow that one. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see what happens. But I'm thinking we swap diffs, blow the other diff, get some video of her, see how it likes it. And then we've got a 4-inch exhaust with a nice exhaust hanger. I think we cut that exhaust back there and reroute into a factory exhaust and bring the duals out and bring them out just like you normally would and bring them right out the tips. I think that would be pretty sweet. I'm pretty sure that's what we're gonna do. I got a whole cradle, suspension, diff, everything out of a, I think it was a 21 Hellcat. So we're gonna put all that in here. So the rear's gonna be solid. And Get Performance is sending us some diff braces. So she should be good. I don't think we'll break anything. If we break something after them braces are on and we have the ZF style diff in here, I'm gonna be impressed because I don't think we will, but we might. Maybe we'll make more power out of it. I think I'm gonna change all those turbos, make them nicer. Maybe we can even bring them down a little bit. They stick out ridiculously far. Then it's little stuff. Like I did these marker lights, shoved bolts behind there and just ran screws right through the plastic. Gonna redo that. We'll get some nice headlights in her. I don't know if those holes are factory or not. That one missing there, it looks like they were cut. Why you would do that, I don't know. It's all around an interesting build. I'm impressed, but I'm also disappointed. But we're gonna make her beautiful again. And she's got nice brakes up front. She's got slotted rotors. So the brakes work surprisingly well on this thing. I don't know if those are just an upgraded rotor or not, but from what I've seen, they kind of look like a rotor off a Hellcat Charger. I'm not sure if they are or not. It was not that bad. That is perfectly straight. Yeah, so that says right there what you need to know about that alignment. We need to get something figured out with that. We're gonna make her beautiful. It's just gonna take some time. The steering wheel is straight right now. I don't think the tires know what straight means. Okay, a lot of rambling. I know I showed you stuff you probably don't even want to see, but I at least wanted to go over what we're doing to this thing. I think it's going to be an awesome build. I really do. I'm really excited. And once all that stuff comes in, we're going to start doing some suspension work. Then we'll start with engine stuff and getting everything ready to go, and she's going to be an animal. I don't know. Now, this is a Pursuit model, the police package. It has a hole up there for their spotlight. We're gonna put that back in to seal the hole up. was thinking of like making a cover for it, but I think it'll look stupid. So I'm just gonna put a light back in it. That way it looks the way it's supposed to. We're gonna tint the tail lights, all the marker lights, black headlights. We're gonna black this thing out. I think it's gonna be awesome. So if you're as excited as I am, drop a comment and leave a like, and share with some of your friends. Also, my Instagram, link in the description. Go leave a follow. I want to start posting on there a little more. So, as always, have a great day, and thanks for watching.